So I have a vision board, and on my vision board is a photo of an Iboga plant, and I made that, I'm pretty sure, in like October, before I met you, before that last ayahuasca ceremony, actually. I had an intention for months even prior to that I was interested in that medicine. What led me to try Iboga? I have tried so many things in my life to try to like feel better and feel like more functional. I've tried like talk therapy and hypnotherapy and just everything, like holistic psychiatry. I tried regular psychiatry. I tried like then I went into like plant medicine, tried CBD and ayahuasca. And ayahuasca, I know you and I differ, but I feel like it did do something for me. But like, you know, it helped show me things I feel like I needed to see. But then after that, I was even more fucked up, honestly. I was like, my nervous system was totally dysregulated, and I was just not good. I had a lot of negative effects after ayahuasca, honestly. Like my nervous system was just shot. So anyway, so Iboga was interesting to me to help kind of beat various emotional addictions I feel like I still had that I felt like ayahuasca did not treat. So I was drawn to Iboga specifically because of the addictive properties that it helps to cut addiction, and the way that it works with dopamine, and that it like resets your brain. That was very compelling to me, and I felt like I hadn't found that anywhere else. And so that's why I was drawn, because I know that about myself. I'm often at the behest of my emotions and just behavioral stuff. But I was very resistant. I was very scared because I was frankly just traumatized in my last ayahuasca. It was very dark and really intense, and a lot of trauma got brought up, and I just like didn't. It was physically intense, and like also after I was like a little I don't want to use the word psychotic, but like just my mind was not totally sound. Like I was more open and just overly stimulated. My nervous system was just so stimulated. So I was very nervous that this medicine would be also stimulating and psychoactive, or just be like worse, like make me worse off, because it's another really intense medicine from what I've heard. So I didn't want to like overload my system, but it ended up actually neutralizing everything, and in like a very soft and very gentle way. I still had some visions, like some like visions that looked very real, you know, when I was dreaming or when I would close my eyes, but
They were not like how
it wasn't, yeah, it was just like as if I was in a VR, like a virtual reality. That's it. It wasn't anything like crazy. So it's like very subtle. It's very subtle, and the only thing I really have to compare it to is like ayahuasca or CBD or like mushrooms. So if anyone has context for those things, it's like not like any of them. It's like you don't even really realize it's working. I knew that it was because when I'd close my eyes, my visions were just more real. Other than that, it was like very mild nausea at certain points. I was like sleeping the majority of the day. The hardest part was just not doing anything. And like if you're really tuned into your body, I could sense that I had medicine in me at different points, but like it was just, you know, I was like I minimized it. I was like, this is like nothing because I wasn't really
it
feeling
was safe.
anything. It was very safe, yeah.
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 And can
What was very apparent was that it was like this somatic healing above anything, and it was like it felt like a spiritual surgery. And I was just very aware. There was like a stitch that came across the middle of my forehead at one point, and I felt it working on my thyroid and on my spine, and like in the nerves of my fingers and my hands. Like I just, oh yeah, and my yoni and my womb. There was, after the first night, I felt very like it was like this like surge of like life force energy, like very erotic kind of, like just like a purification. Like it was like this innocence. Like I can't like this new virginal a little bit, like just this new newness.
Cleanse of the reproductive system.
Yeah, there was one point where like I had these memories of all of my exes, like I was thinking about them um in consecutive order from the last one down to the first one, and it just felt like there was a clearing of that energy. And then it ended with the forgiveness of my father, which was really profound, and I knew that that was like the next big thing I had to do, and it was just really simple, and I cried a little and like just felt his pain and empathy for him, and was just really easily able to like forgive him. Yeah. Aliya as a space holder is it's very inspirational. It's like it's not she doesn't tell you what to do. She doesn't set any expectations. I feel like she really put the power in my hands and like re-emphasized that power exchange like throughout the whole process. There were times where like she would help with integration. Like if I was experiencing something, I would talk through it and she would help like make sense of it or bring some context or just help me like shift my perspective away, from the same pattern I've always done my whole life. But it was very empowering. It wasn't like I have the answer and like let me teach you. It was like everything was working from my wisdom and my cues of my body. And so it very, very much was holding space versus like guiding. Like I wouldn't even call you a guide necessarily. It's more like a little bit with the integration, but like more like guiding me to ask she would ask me questions. I would have to come to the answers to. Like she wouldn't kind of coddle me and answer the questions myself. So like it wasn't even a maternal energy. Some coaches have this maternal. It wasn't that. It was like you were here to kind of like provide this experience and like a safe container, and I felt safe, but it wasn't this like overly like caring, yeah, or protective or caretaker. It was just, yeah, like it was great. I've gone through like a couple of different insights throughout the days, but today, for the first time, I feel really, I'm like accepting of where I'm at in my life for the first time. Like I feel like I've been trying to fight to like get to a different place in my life, like working towards stuff and not feeling good enough and like just running from where I am. And like I just feel this like sense of peace and calm and like gratitude really for where I'm at, and just like I'm so happy to be like here in Mexico right now. I've tried, but I've like wanted to get out for a while, and or like my business isn't where I want it to be and all this stuff, and I just like I feel like I let that all go, and I'm just like so at peace. I've always found things to beat myself up about and to like abuse myself about, and I'm like brilliant at it, like use so many different tools to do that, and like it's just feels like that's like over right now, or like I just don't have to do that. I'm not like getting off on that. Like I'm so glad that I could have had this experience. There was no other time in my life that I would have been able to like have that gift that I just had. Like if I had my business was crazy, or like if I had that job that I wanted, or like a partner, like I just wouldn't have had this like time to like do this. And so yeah, I'm feeling so much peace and gratitude and just like stillness, and like I don't need to fill my time with like stuff. And even like I have this habit still of like reaching for my phone and scrolling, but like I don't want to be on it. Like I've turned my phone off today, I've like tried to cultivate this, but I haven't been able to. And then as far as I feel like I have like as far as like my abilities or for the future, like I feel like my nervous system has been jacked up, not just after ayahuasca, like that it ayahuasca pushed my nervous system to the edge. My nervous system has always been jacked up. And I feel like I've used all this stimulus, like living in Manhattan and drinking coffee and eating chocolate and like living on my phone and TikTok and all this stuff to keep my nervous system jacked up. And like now that I have created that space and it's calm, like I've all of the abilities I've known that I've had, these like kind of psychic, like oracle vision, I'm like a seer. I've known that this about myself, but I have not honored it. I've like,
also judged that you were going crazy.
yeah, I've gaslit myself that I have mental illness and like I'm crazy or like, it's too much. And my nervous system is calm. I can like feel, I'm just way more like sensitive, like I had this experience with a tree this morning. I've like never done that. I like when I first yesterday like started tapping in, I'm like, am I going crazy? Like I don't think that that's the case. I think we're all like all have these spiritual abilities. We're just the world is constructed in a way to like keep us from them, to like distract us from them, to like cloud our vessel, and it's bullshit. And I'm just feeling way more at peace and like confident in myself and my body and trusting more than anything. I feel like we all, especially me, I've had this program of like seeking, not trusting anything or like not trusting my own thoughts or seeking external validation or tools or whatever. It's like this whole process I've really come back to myself. If like there's a trigger that happens or something, I like come back to myself and trust myself first. And like if I have these thoughts of like maybe I'm crazy, like I've stopped that. Like that's an addiction too, like just this fear. It's like this fear parasite, and I just feel like it's like I feel like I still have integration to do and like work ahead of me and like conscious, bringing a lot of conscious awareness, but it's just easier now. It's like easy, and I just was able to like forgive myself, take a step back, and like just regulate myself like really fast. And normally I would be spun out the entire day, so it's just really profound. Like, yeah, I can't stress that enough.